one.
Hello there, folks. Welcome to a special um, draw on Justin's channel. Sorry, I heard myself. I had Justin's channel open, so I was hearing my voice. It was bothering me. But today we are going to be doing a quick Champions League draw. We have made it past the group stage. Thank you to everyone who participated. It's a fun time as always. And these are the players who have advanced. I posted it in WhatsApp, so you probably may have already seen this, but here they are. Very good group of players. No slouches here, but that's just the way Champions Leagues goes. And today, me and Justin will be quickly doing a draw to put them into their groups. Justin, how you doing?
I love everything about Twilight Struggle. It's my favorite game.
That's right. That's right. At least you have not lost a single game this year in Champions League, so you have that going for you, Justin.
I'm so glad we're doing this, JR.
Um, so before we get started, I'll just go over the quick rules. They're right here, but no players from the same group. So, for instance, Steven and Ryan cannot be drawn together, and then no players from the same league or federation. So, in that case, there's just a few. The two Greek players, two Korean players. There are four Polish players who have advanced. Very impressive. Um, and none of them are going to be matched. And then, of course, there are two Texas players from the now defunct Texas League. Um, so without further ado, Justin, you about ready to get started here?
I'm super stoked, JR. I could not be more excited to be talking about Twilight Struggle today.
All right, I'll get going, and maybe Justin, you can tell us about how your last game went against each of these players.
Oh,
So
I'd
first,
love to. Love to.
so, so first we have the seeded side. So these are the players who won their divisions. And first, looks like we're going with Bartosz. He was in my group. He had a very impressive 5-1 record, and obviously a very good player, up above 6,500 ITSR at the moment. And he is going to be the first player that was drawn. So obviously he is in Group C. So we are going to avoid drawing Mateus here, and we are going to avoid drawing Z here. And hopefully that goes well.
I have never played against him, so we'll see who is going to get him. Oh, it's BH Jew. I have played BH several times. Had some success against him in RTSL, but he recently got me in. Recently got me in a different matchup. So he's definitely a good player, fun guy to play against. Actually, my record against him would not be nearly as good if he hadn't been playing on his phone and accidentally clicked Nigeria to coup instead of Cameroon. But BH a great player and should be a good matchup.
Unfortunately, for some reason, I had two duplicate wheel of names, and BH is actually a seeded player. So we're going to spin this one more time. That was a great talk about BH. So just pretend Justin said that when we actually draw BH, but I had the wrong wheel up. Instead, we're going to get Zimowit, which is a disallowed pairing. So I'm going to close and spin again. And stop, please. There we go. Michael. Michael Panettiere.
Okay, Michael Panettiere still hanging out in Champions League, making it to the next round. I think he's had some serious Champions League success.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had success. Team DC has had success against Nevada in the U.S. Cup. Played at Michael, I believe, one time. I believe I got him in OTSL. We had a fun game. Streaming both sides, always fun when both players are streaming. So, yeah, that'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, and doing Western League proud. He's, I think, made Champions League every year out of Western League, and he's done very well. I think he's made it to the at least the knockout round here, two or three times. So he always shows us well for the Western League.
Yeah, I miss the days when he would stream his games. So, Michael, get on that. Get back on the air.
Yeah, stream some of those, Michael. We'd love to see. Nick, it looks like is going to be next here. I personally don't have a whole lot of experience playing Nick. Have you ever gone up with him, Justin?
I believe I've played him one time, and it was a loss. It was, I believe, my second loss ever in ITS sanctioned play. It was an OTSL game. I gave him NATO on the first round of the game, and he proceeded to get special and trigger it on me three times. So that made me very happy.
Lovely. The slightly rare reverse of the flower power play.
Yes.
And then it looks like we're going to have Ryan uh, Pindolik here, another very good player. And that pairing is allowed. He's out of your league, Justin, Atlantic, and he's doing you guys proud here. So I'm sure you're happy to see that.
Yes, very proud of Ryan. Happy to have two members of Atlantic League make it here to the knockout round. I've played Ryan several times. New Jersey's gotten the better of us in U.S. Cup play. Ryan did supply me with my first ever Europe Control win in ITS sanctioned play. I got him on a Europe Control win in ITSL. So that was definitely a fun one.
So he started your addiction to that.
Oh yes, I am an addict. Although I haven't gotten one in a long time. People always space the Pope against me now. Nobody gives me a casual Pope.
You're too well known for it now.
People will just jack Poland up to 6 or 7 with no provocation against me.
Next up, we've got Stephen Darby, a good player out of the UK League. He won, I believe, a pretty tough group. Yeah, he beat a very tough group. He beat Ryan and went 5-1, a very respectable group stage record for Stephen here. I personally have not played against him either.
I had not played against him, but I did draw him in OTSL this year and beat him in a pretty good game. He ends his emails with "ta." He likes to say "ta," so I'd never seen that before. So British stuff is funny. English it's a funny language.
And Young Bae, it looks like our other Korean player. Justin, I believe you've played him in the RTSL Stalin division. Is that correct?
Bit of a controversial game. I took a tie in that one. Some people thought I shouldn't. My viewers wanted to see the end, but after seeing his hand afterward, I was very happy to have taken the tie and stayed in the RTSL Stalin division for another season because of it.
Yeah, now that you say that, I do remember that, and I think that was the right call. He had a very strong hand, and it would have been close and final, but why take the risk if you don't need it?
Yep. 5-4-1. That's elite stuff right there.
Exactly. I mean, in Stalin, every game is tough. I mean, you've got 10 of the best Twilight Struggle players in the world playing each other, so
yep.
I don't think anyone can fault you for that. Next up, we've got Michael Stryker.
I don't know who that guy is.
No, if anybody's heard of this guy, I don't know. His ITSR 72, like that's okay, I guess. I don't know a whole lot about this guy. I can't say much about him. Actually, I think I've played him 2 or 3 times, unfortunately for me, and I don't think I've played a close game with him yet. I think every time that I've played Michael, it's just been a pretty one-sided affair where he just handles his business, and I feel like I couldn't do anything the entire game.
Yeah, I played Michael a couple of times in RTSL. We've split a couple of games, and we play again on Sunday. So come join, or rather, don't watch for that, given my results as of late.
Well, you're due for one then, right?
That's how statistics works, JR. Yes, I'm due for one.
Yeah. And next up, we got Mateus Zanetti. Good player. He was in my division as well. I believe we split our games. I had a heartbreaking loss against him where his grain pulled my war games out of hand that I thought was safe. I had Missile Envy. I was like, oh, I don't need to worry about this war games. And then swipe, and it was sad. No, that was Bartos. Mateus beat me on DEF CON. I drew 3 DEF CON cards on the same turn, and that was enough to do that.
You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I know. In retrospect, I was like, why would I do that? It's so simple. And I'm just going to take a quick look here at the groups and see if we still look like we're on track to make acceptable pairings here. Tomas cannot play David or Z, but he has 2 options left. Anton can play anyone. Or no. Yeah, or he can't play Andrew. Paul can't play just Z. And BH can't play Z. Was that 3 players who can't play Z?
So Z, I think is locked up against
Z is
Anton.
locked in with Yes. So I'm going to do that right now, and that is why I checked. We're just going to go ahead and lock this in. Anton, I'm sure that's who you were hoping to get. So good news for you.
Great
You
draw
get,
for Anton.
yeah,
But a
that's
great
what
draw,
you're hoping
and
for.
truly a great draw for the rest of us. Though we get to see Zemanwood play live on streams. Anton streams his games live. I know Zemanwood puts a lot of his games on YouTube, and so do a lot of these players. But it's always nice to see the games live and comment on them. So that'll be
Yeah,
fun.
and I will say, I mean, we're saying Anton doesn't want that draw, but maybe Z doesn't want that draw either. I mean, Anton just won his group over Harib and Tomas, 4-2, a very impressive record. What everyone thought was the group of death, and I don't think that people were expecting Anton to come out on top of that one. Probably just looking at that group, but a very, very impressive group stage by him. So,
Wow, you did a
best
great
of luck.
job talking about Group F and completely neglecting to mention Andrew's name. Andrew started out 4-0 in that group, and was ahead in the group for a while. Dropped his last two, still advances. But Andrew, coming out of Atlantic League, took the third place slot out of Atlantic League, had to play in the qualifying tournament, was drawn into this group. It was called the Group of Death, certainly not because Andrew was there and probably in spite of that. I know the group could have been even tougher with some even bigger names, but a great job by Andrew as well to move on to the next round, and I'm proud of him, JR.
Absolutely. I just had not gotten to that yet because I was talking about Anton because he had been drawn. Andrew, of course, still to be drawn. And it looks here like we've avoided most of our pitfalls. So I think we're okay to just draw now for these last three.
I don't think Andrew's even going to watch this, so
Probably not.
he will
But
miss my passionate defense of him.
Tomasz looks like another very good Polish player. I've played him a handful of times. I think I've got a pretty relatively easy, even record against him. I feel like I've matched up with him several times. A very good player. Always fun to play.
Yeah, I played him. I think the only time I've played him in a sanctioned game is in Blitz League. I swept him in two games, just a couple of play deck wins. That was my only series victory in Blitz League, unfortunately.
All right. It will not be David because David was in Tomas's group there. And it still won't be David because David was still in Tomas's group there. I'm going to try one more time. And if it happens again, I'm going to temporarily remove his
No,
name.
no, no, no. We got to keep it going.
Okay. Okay. There we
There
go.
we go. All right.
All right. Giannis, another Greek player. One that I have not played myself. Do you have any experience playing against
None
Giannis?
whatsoever.
Well, sorry that I can't say more about him. He came in second in his group, just behind Striker, beating out two very good players here, Yarrick and Michael. So excited to see what he can do there. And now,
Oh, I'm so excited. I don't have to say Yarwick's last name.
yeah, I'm not even attempting a lot of these last names. I can say most of these first names. I cannot say those. Next, we've got Paul here. A very good player. He was supposed to be joining me, but had some real life commitments come up last minute. No problem there. Hoping all is well with him. But another very good player that no one is going to want to see. And that makes our last one, BH, who Justin thankfully already gave us a very nice rundown on.
BH, Twilight Struggle, Korea, good player. There it is. You're welcome.
I like him. I like him because he also has two letters for a name.
Yep.
And there is your boy. Andrew will be playing Paul. So that is an exciting one. Justin, you got to get him to stream some games or send you his games so that we can watch them.
I keep telling him to do it, and he won't do it. So he's like, well, I'll try and record it, and then he doesn't do it. So all right, I'm going to bother him again.
Yeah,
yeah. Ryan sends his games occasionally, but yeah, I want to broadcast some of these games from Atlantic League qualifiers. And so okay, David against BH, that'll be a good one.
Yeah,
Time zone difference will be fun there.
Yeah, it's miserable playing from the U.S. against the Korean players just for time zone, especially on the West Coast. There's like 3 hours a day where both of us are awake or something. It's awful. but I believe that we did not break any rules there. I think that looked all right. I will double check, and if there was anything that was wrong, I will let you know. But I think that doesn't. I think we did it correctly. Justin, how do you feel about any of these games that you really think are going to be some good matchups here as you look through the first knockout round here?
Well, I'm excited to see Anton and Zimowit for sure. Anton will be streaming his games live, no doubt. And then, so being able to see Zimowit play live on air is always fun. And then excited to see Andrew's games against Pavel. Pavel, a well-known player. And Andrew, maybe not as well known. I think Andrew was a big name back in the old, Vassal war game room pre-play deck days. So he returns, and I signed up for Atlantic League, qualified. Now he's qualifying for the Champions League knockout round. So excited to have him around. And then there's lots of good players across the board. I could talk about each one of these, but those two are the ones I'm circling. What matchup are you looking forward to, JR?
I would love if we could watch the BH David DiCarlo games. I think that would be a great game to watch if either of them recorded and sent it to a streamer or uploaded a YouTube video. I don't think either of them do that too often, but I think that's a great matchup between two very good players. And I personally, of course, will be rooting for Michael to represent the Western U.S. League and hoping that he streams some of those games.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, I don't know about David. David just lost to a very, very bad player in the ITSL playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know about him. But good luck to him anyway.
As a reminder, just if anyone's watching this, these are just 2 games. So obviously, if you win both, you advance. But if you don't, Champions League goes with the player winning in less turns, which can make it pretty interesting in game 2s. If you lost game 1, if you lost in final scoring or something, you might be going all out to get that win on turn 8. Or if you lost sooner, you're really playing for a steamroll or something. So it can lead to some interesting plays that might not be what you would normally see someone do because they're more concerned about winning faster. Can add some drama to some games.
Fewer turns, JR. The player winning in fewer turns advances. You have fewer apples, less applesauce. But yes, that it does create some interesting scenarios. Particularly the one that I really liked was Anton's game, Anton's best of 2 game, where he played green on AR7 to steal War Games, which was the opponent's hold card, and he had held it so it didn't get sniped by Star Wars, and then he was able to win before final scoring. That was a fun little scenario.
Yeah, and if I recall, Anton was up. That was the final play of the turn or something, right? That was like
yes, it was turn 10 AR7.
10 AR7.
And Anton was going to win anyway, but that meant it came before final. So then he just needed to make it to final in the next game in order to advance.
Right. Yeah. Very, very stuff like that is fun. So keep an eye out for that. And these games are going to be due on May 31st, and I'm probably just going to have a really small. I'll just do it myself, but I'll have a really small draw. There will only be 8 players for the quarterfinals, and it'll be the same guys we just talked about. So I'll just quickly do that on stream just so everyone can watch it happen, see what happens. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Justin, thanks for hosting it here, and good luck to all of these players. Hope to see as many of these games as possible because these are going to be some great games.
All right. Thank you, JR. I think that's going to do it for this draw. Please let JR if you have any questions or if you don't like your draw. And I'll be back here on perhaps later today, perhaps Friday with a recorded Atlantic League game. So hope you'll join me then. But until next time, for JR Jones, this is Justin Abramson signing off. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.